Hello, hello. Happy blessed Sunday, everyone. I hope and pray that you're all doing well. The theme for today's devotion is on the word worthy. The passage can be found in the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 36. It reads, "For from him, and through him, and to him are all things. To him be the glory forever. Amen." Paul concludes Romans 11 and his hymn about God's vastness and sovereignty with this verse. Paul declares in no uncertain terms that the universe belongs to God, and we're simply living in it and part of it. The first half of verse 36 is a God-centered theology, and the second half of verse 36 is a God-centered doxology, and it is our theology that produces our doxology. It is the truth of the first half of the verse that ignites our heart with worship for God in the second half of this verse. And without the first half of this verse, we will not experience the second half of this verse. Paul builds on the question he asked in the previous verse. Who has given anything to God valuable enough that God owes him something back? The answer is nobody. God doesn't owe us anything. In this verse, Paul explains why. Everything that is in the universe came from God to start with. He is the creator and the source of all that is good. How could we ever give him anything he doesn't already have? Second, all things are through God. This means that not only is God the source of all things, he holds them together. He sustains everything that is. He is active and present in the work of keeping the universe running. All things that exist continue through him. Third, all things are to him or for him. In other words, everything that exists has been made for God's purposes. They all reflect glory back to him. Nothing exists that doesn't serve his great plan and purpose for all things. So to recap, from him means God is the source of all things. Through him means that God is the means of all things. And to him, God is the goal of all things. You can also think of it like this. He is the source, from him, the means, through him, and the goal, to him, of all things. To put it another way, that all things are from him means he is the architect of all things. Through him means he is the administrator of all things, and to him means he is the aim of all things. Or to reframe it, that all things are from his sovereign will, all things are through his sovereign activity, and all things are to his sovereign glory. There is so much packed into these three prepositional phrases. All things are found within these three prepositional phrases: pause, reflect, and praise, also known as Selah. Paul finishes his hymn with statement of great worship, "To God be glory forever." This is both a statement of fact and a prayer for its fulfillment. Glory will flow to God forever, and Paul affirms that is exactly as it should be in the form of a prayer. He ends this section of his letter with a formal Amen, meaning so be it or let it be so. Selah.